Are you all writing mains this year? No. I mean, for next year, yeah? Okay. And you have opted sociology? You are writing this year. Okay, fine. And you? Writing mains this year. Okay, please come ahead. Idhar aa jaiye. Yes. So, I have to guide those who are writing mains and provide insights to those who are aspiring for next year. Yeah, expecting to appear next year. Yes, okay. And hello to all those who are connected online. See, I will start with something that is relevant to you as well as those who are freshers, right? Can you tell me the purpose of this mains testing purpose? What is the purpose of this test? Mains exam, prelims exam, mains exam, then personality test. What is the purpose? To know the analytical ability of the candidate. Yeah, fine, fine. Yes, fine. See, like to work as a bureaucrat, you need to develop your personality. Yes, na? You need to develop your personality. And personality is dynamic sum of knowledge and wisdom, right? Personality is dynamic sum of knowledge and wisdom, right? UPSC has prescribed your syllabus that is very much unique and distinct. At times you must be thinking ki why like UPSC want me to be a geographer, knowledge of geography, history, polity, constitution, governance, economic and social development, science, technology, and environment and ecology, right? Internal security, right? Disaster management, ethics, and sociology, optional, specialized learning also, specialized studies also, right? The purpose is to develop your personality that could match, the personality that is functionally needed in civil services, right? As a district magistrate and as a secretariat, as secretary in the secretariat, as district magistrate, you will have to have generic knowledge of everything. You will have to have generic knowledge of everything. You need to know something of everything. Even the specialized persons like agriculture officer, specialized persons like medical officer, district chief medical officer, chief agriculture officer, chief forest officer, right? They will all reporting to you, right? You will not be specialized in particular subject, but you will be the boss of all specialized officers. Why? Because of your generalized knowledge, diversified knowledge, and you know something of everything. If executive engineer who is specialized in building, road construction, if he comes with some project, some file, right, you will ask for environmental impact assessment before sanctioning that file, before approving that file. Like social impact assessment, what impact this will have on farmers, right, on agricultural workers. Yes, na, because of such generic knowledge, you will be the boss. Yes, na. And beyond that, in secretariat, you will have to plan. You will have to do some planning. There you need a specialized knowledge. And therefore, UPSC has this provision of subjects, sociology, public administration, political science. Yes, na, ki people from different, academic backgrounds, having a specialized knowledge in these subjects, will together, discuss, deliberate, and make policies to be implemented. Yes, na. So it is very purposeful actually. Yes, na. And so those who are beginners, you have begun for next year. So please try to fulfill this purpose. Yes, na. And take it as a responsibility, not as something, to be completed. And many students, this year, after prelims and before mains, is struggling. And is struggling, why? Because they are not able to revise everything. You also must be struggling in doing revision within 82 days, 85 days. Yes, after prelims and before mains, right? So look, there should not be preparation like where you need to struggle, like everything should have been prepared before prelims, and most importantly, everything should have been internalized in personality. Yes, na? That would have become part of your wisdom, so that you did not struggle after prelims, for revising and, aggregating content and all, isn't it? So those who are beginners, if you have started, right now, then over the period of time, try to develop your personality. Yes, na? Not only seek for knowledge, completing the syllabus, but also have wisdom, historical wisdom, sociological wisdom, yes, na? Constitutional wisdom, yes, na? Ethical wisdom, isn't it? So that you are ready every time and any time to write something of everything. Because in examination, you are supposed to write what? Something of everything. 150 words and 250 words in sociology, and maximally 200 words in general studies. Yes, na? You are not supposed to write everything. Yes, na? So, please try to understand this purpose. Ki if purpose is development of personality, then I should not just be oriented towards completion of the syllabus, completing the syllabus, rather a balanced internalization of knowledge matrix and inculcating that in my wisdom, making that a part of wisdom. Yes, na? So that I am always ready to solve some problem. Yes, na? Right. Just say, suppose ki in sociology, understood something, yeah? Kuch samjhe? Something. Ki the purpose kya hai? Purpose of this preparation is personality development. Purpose of this preparation is personality development. What I am today and what I would be after 1 year. Yes, na? And this should not be proved by only writing test and remarks. Ki test mein remarks milega acha, matlab ki my preparation is good, right? Over the years, you must experience, you must realize that my outlook is changing. Yes, na? You must understand कि diversity is the greatest virtue of India. Diversity is the greatest virtue of India after learning, society. Yes, now features of Indian society. Topic hai na, unity in diversity. Yes or no? Right. In American society, European society, there is no much cultural diversity. Materialism is the characteristic feature of all the society. Yes, na? No much linguistic diversity. English language, yes or no? Americans speaking English. But in Indian society, too much of diversity. Yes or no? Right. So after learning syllabus topic, you must internalize and must have understanding that diversity is the greatest virtue of India. Yes or no? Right. So this is, and similarly, like after learning constitution, like constitutional wisdom and constitutional correctness should be there in our personality. Yes, now when we look at the reality, right, traffic congestion, just I, like first time, after 15 years, I have come to Bangalore, after 15 years. And I was really surprised, by the traffic congestion. Yes, na? And I was thinking, right, this is sheer, violation of fundamental right of resident of Bangalore. Yes, na? Which fundamental right? Yeah, right to movement. Yes, na? Right to movement. Yes or no? Right. I mean, many students might, because of traffic congestion, traffic jams, can also miss their exams. Yes, na? That's violation of right to life also. Yes, na? Right to movement also. Yes or no? So, like if I have studied constitution, then when we look at reality, then that constitutional wisdom must come to our mind and consciousness. If I have studied geography, right, then as a district magistrate, my geographical wisdom must help me to plan check dams. Yes, na? Small dams. Yes or no? To control impact of flooding. Yes or no? If I have studied urbanization, problems related to urbanization, then that wisdom must help me understand the problems. Yes, na? Right. So that is, and that should be the orientation of learning. Yes or no? Preparation. Your preparation must agitate you to think differently from that of a rickshaw puller, differently from that of Ola, Uber drivers. Yes, na? Right. That your personality must be agitated if you have learned the constitution, geography, history in district as a district magistrate, you will have to be responsible for maintaining the culture, heritage sites, and that's the function of learning art and culture. Yes, na? So, the first point I wanted to clarify, many students I realize these days have just material orientation. Material orientation मतलब completing syllabus, है ना? किसी तरीके से syllabus complete कर लो. Yes, na? But just completing syllabus is not equal to preparation. Maybe we will crack prelims, by completing syllabus multiple times, but you cannot crack mains, unless you have wisdom. Yes, na? To think and solve problems. Getting a point or not, right? And wisdom is never compartmentalized. Wisdom is never compartmentalized. I see these days many students, like prepare history, geography, polity in isolation, society in isolation. No. If you are writing, some problem related to poverty, so don't you think there are historical factors responsible for poverty? Jamindari system, Rayatwari system and Mahalwari system. Yes, na? Illiteracy and educational disparity, historical factors. British selective intervention policy. Selectively, Britishers, established educational institutions, isn't it? And so, post-independence also, that selective intervention policy continued. Yes, na? In southern states, leadership like K. Kamraj and many others leaders, right, implemented educational policies. But in northern states, you can see, states like Bihar, UP, huge disparity in education, class disparity, rural-urban disparity. Yes or no? So there is a historical cause of, Jamindari regions. Jamindari, out of all three policies, Mahalwari, Rayatwari and Jamindari policies of Britishers, Jamindari was the most exploitative. Yes, na? So people, those who were landless during British period, pauperized, they are still landless and pauperized in the state like Bihar and West Bengal and Odisha, because post-independence land reform failed in these states. So when we are thinking of poverty in paper 3, yes, na, deprivation in paper 3, we must think about paper 1, history. GS paper 1 mein hai na, history, mentioned in paper 1, historical factors related to poverty, social factors related to poverty. Don't you think caste is also the factor? Because caste, restricted, people to hierarchies. Yes, na? Patriarchal principles and practices deprived women of fuller participation in society. So poverty among women also related to patriarchy. Yes, na? That you study in society area or sociology. Yes or no? Isn't it? So poverty seems to be economic. Yes, na? But when you try to understand its causal factors, you will realize that causality is related to history, causality is related to society, geography, the flooded regions, every year, Bihar, UP flooded every year. So those regions are pauperized in comparison to other regions or not? Because flood also damages, infrastructure, agriculture, and that also induces poverty. Internal security issues, paper 3 ka, that is also related to poverty, like in Jharkhand, Odisha, because of Naxalism, Chhattisgarh, right? Government, policies fails, government infrastructure developments, compromised because of Naxalism and all, isn't it? And that also has impact poverty, pauperization. Getting your point? So wisdom is never compartmentalized, right? These days, students are struggling to score 400 marks in general studies paper. And one major cause of this, struggle and failing to get at least 50% of the marks, which earlier students used to get 50%, that is Delhi ka coaching institutions, compartmentalized, orientation of teaching as well as answer writing. Geography ka answer, limited restricted to geography. Polity ka answer, limited restricted to polity. Economic answer, limited restricted to economy. You must have seen those who are writing mains, must have seen in GS3 students getting 60 marks, 65 marks, struggling to get 100 marks. Yes, na, economy, do you think economy is isolated from society? No. Economy is very strongly related to society and social factors or not? Factor of education, factor of caste, factor of land, ownership, landlessness. Yes or no? Economy is related to geography or not? Economy is related to our history or not? Colonial history, drain of wealth. Yes, na? So we cannot think in compartmentalized manner. Yes, na? So this is. So wisdom is never compartmentalized. Knowledge may be, but not wisdom, isn't it? And so when you prepare for this exam, right, be oriented to develop your wisdom. Yes, na? Sociological wisdom, historical wisdom. Yes, na? and let any question come before you. Your wisdom will help you to solve that. Yes, na? Right. And in this process, always remember कि perfectionism is a myth actually. Relativism is the truth. You should have relative knowledge and understanding than perfect knowledge and understanding. Yes, na? Like you are writing mains, like understanding Karl Marx from the lens of Das Kapital will take you 1 month to complete Das Kapital and interpret Das Kapital. Yes, na? And on Karl Marx, you have to write one answer, short answer or long answer, isn't it? So you need not to go into that much detail. Do you need to go in detail? No, isn't it? No, right? You cannot afford to go into too much of detailing the things. Yes, na? Because here UPSC has limited, restricted 150 words, 250 words. Here, UPSC want to test your resource utilization and optimization ability also. India is a developing society. Yes, na? We don't have too much of resources as administrator at our disposal, right? As a district magistrate, you will have to face multiple problems, multiple challenges, but resources will be limited. That is also tested in exam. Yes or no? That is also tested in exam, ki how better you utilize your resources. Yes or no? So right from the beginning, when you approach this exam, when you start preparation for this exam, try to understand the mindset. Yes, na? Try to understand the mindset of UPSC. UPSC wants your personality to match with the personality of administrators. And accordingly you approach. Accordingly you, learn. Accordingly you make notes. Yes, na? Right. And accordingly you develop your wisdom. In field you will not carry Lakshmikant ka book or Das Kapital of Karl Marx. Field mein carry karenge kya? Nahi. Aap honge and your personality. In examination hall also you and your tanhai. Right? Not more than that. Yes or no? As a sovereign personality, you will have to go to examination hall or not? Yes, na? As a sovereign personality, there must be sovereignty here. You cannot afford to be dependent on notes and books or Vikash Ranjan or any other teachers. Yes or no? Isn't it? So right from the beginning, those who are approaching next year, you are approaching next year or this year? Next year, you also. Yes, na? So right from the beginning, try to make things concise, precise, objective, and retainable. That can be retained. है ना? Don't go deep into in compartmentalized manner. Compartmentalized manner में बहुत deep into नहीं जाने का. Yes, na? Like in last few years, everything has been standardized. Model answer, model notes, standardization हो गया. Mechanical. This is called mechanical development. Yes, na? Intellectual personality is always elastic. Yes or no? Elasticity is the feature of intellectuals. Yes, na? Right. But in this process of preparation, following coaching institutions, and advisories, like majority of students I see, they are very much rigid actually. Yes, na? While learning, geography, so going too much deep into geography and failing to understand how geography shaped history. Last year, UPSC asked the question, how geography shaped ancient history. Yes or no? 23 May, right? How geography shaped it. So, yeah, culture. Yes, na? Matlab, this is not compartmentalized question, rather this is hybrid question. Yes or no? Getting a point? So please develop your personality in a way that you are able to solve these problems. Yes or no? Right. So overall purpose should be development of personality. Oh, how are you? You are connected here? You are okay. Okay, great. After a long time, he was my student. I'm in Delhi. Yeah. Great. So understood, yeah? Okay, fine. So now, mains. You are writing mains this year, right? Now I will do some specific talks for mains, how to manage content. Yes, na? Right? Okay. So these were some generic points. I mean, whenever I counsel students, while doing counseling, I try to make them understand that this exam is about personality development. This preparation must be about personality development, not just completion of syllabus. So I start my discussion of sociology 2 with the same point. Yes, no? Right. And I always say, I used to say in class also, something is better than everything. But that something should be better than others, other competitors. And you can make that something better than other competitors only by doing correlation and application. Application in contemporary times. Yes, no? Right. So this is. Anyways, okay. Now, sociology. When we talk of approach to sociology, there are many online students also connected. I will have to start with something, basics, and then I will come to your needs advance, right? When you start learning sociology, you need to understand, the nature and scope of the sociology. Nature and scope of sociology. What is nature and scope of sociology? Do you remember? I used to start my class with this point. Anna? Huh? Yeah. Right, yeah. See, every subject has its distinct nature and a scope of learning. Anna, a scope of learning, how far you have to learn, right? In sociology, we have 5, 6, eminent thinkers, and we apply those thinkers, to understand, we apply their perspectives to understand social structure. Social structures like family, economy, polity, education, religion, etc. These are all social structure. Yes, no? Sociology emerged as a discipline, right, after modernity. Sociology emerged as a discipline after modernity, and that modernity after Renaissance and Enlightenment. Yes, no? Renaissance and Enlightenment, right? So sociology basically focus on a study of a structure, right? As I said, family, economy, polity, education, religion, interaction among the people in society, interaction between, actors. Here in this situation, I am actor, you are actor, I am acting, you are acting, and we both are interacting. Yes, no, we are interacting in this institutional setup. Yeah. So, in sociology, we study about structures, we study about human action and interaction, applying certain perspective or point of views. The views propounded by, those theorists like Auguste Comte, Herbert Spencer, Emile Durkheim, right, Karl Marx, Talcott Parsons, yes, na? Right. And in sociology, we have to do systematic study. Before emergence of sociology, after modernity and modernization too, society was studied, but not systematically. Society was studied by philosophers, Aristotle, yes, na, Plato, yes, na, but mostly based on internal will. It was not based on observation of the structure, observation of the facts. Yes, na, right. So when you start, approaching as a beginner, while, studying ABCD of sociology, or as a finisher, before writing mains, always keep in mind that sociology is systematic and scientific study of society. Sociology is systematic and scientific study of society. Number one, right? Number two, the knowledge of sociology has been systematized. Systematized by whom? Systematized by Auguste Comte, systematized by Emile Durkheim, systematized by Karl Marx, systematized by Max Weber, systematized by Talcott Parsons, systematized by G.H. Mead. So be that as beginner or as finisher before writing mains, you have to keep in mind. Yes, na? Right. As a beginner also, I'm starting the subject, right? So while studying, family, while studying work and economic life, while studying religion, while studying social change, yes, na, while studying education, right? I will focus on what? Systematization of knowledge. Systematic study, systematization of knowledge, and how applying, certain theoretical strands or perspective. Yes, na? As a beginner. As a finisher, before writing mains also, you have to do the same. You have to do the same. Systematization of knowledge in answers. Yes or no? The students who are getting 300 plus and those who are struggling to get to 250 marks also, the difference is only that of appropriate systematic writing. Understanding that sociology is systematic and scientific study of society, and there are sociologists, Emile Durkheim, right, Karl Marx, Talcott Parsons. You can say, Karl Marx as positivist conflictist sociologist, Emile Durkheim positivist functionalist sociologist. Yes, na? Max Weber non-positivist sociologist, right? Non-positivist sociologist. These are all theoretical strands. As you will learn, you will understand what is positivism and non-positivism. I'm just talking about approach, how to approach. Yes, na? Then we have middle range theorists like R.K. Merton, those who talk about both a structure and individual consequences of individual action on a structure and a structure ka contribution on individuals, members of society. Middle range, he takes middle range. And then G.H. Mead. So whenever we are learning something related to syllabus after completing thinkers, we will try to systematize knowledge by applying those thoughts, those perspectives. While writing answer also, we will try to systematize knowledge in 150 words, 250 words. Learning is easy. Learning आसान होता है because learning में तो you keep on explaining, है ना, right? Explaining. You like understanding. You keep on writing also. Yes, na. But when it comes to writing in 150 words, 250 words, it becomes very difficult. Yes, na. Their systematization becomes difficult. Yes, na. Right. You must be struggling in answering many questions of PYQ at times. Yeah, last year many questions. In a single question last year, UPSC asked civil society, democracy and citizenship. Do you remember previous year question? Yaad hona chahiye, previous year question. In a single question, UPSC asked 3 different concepts. In class, we study democracy, citizenship and civil society in 3 different classes. And here you have to write 150 words. So don't you think that there you need in class, teacher explains, elaborates, applies, referring to perspectives, T.H. Marshall ka perspective on citizenship. Yes, na? Like in class it's easy, but when it comes to writing, that requires greater level of efficiency of systematization, greater level of efficiency of systematization, and making my write-up more objective and scientific. Yes, na? And that greater level comes with what? कैसे आता है वो greater level? Yeah, practice, mental practicing while doing revision, multiple revisions, yes, and mental practicing, revision of the topic, PYQs, yes, na, reorganization of the topic in dimensions, yes, na, reorganization of topic in dimensions, and then reflection over the answers, yes, na, question, reflection over the questions, mental practicing, yes, the revision, reorganization in dimensions, referring to question, mental practicing, and then pen paper practice. Getting your point? Higher, simple. Like you enjoy learning in class. Class में तो learning sociology. Everyone enjoys learning sociology. Yes, na? Right. Yesterday also, in place of 2 hours, I took 3-hour class. I forgot, I had to stop the class at 2:30. I was teaching, symbolic interactionism, phenomenology and all. And it continued 1 hour extra, Then I was reminded by students were also enjoying. Yes, na? Understanding, learning. Yes, na? But if you are learning, well, then why students are not able to write? Why students are not getting 300 marks? Why not all students getting 300 marks, 290 marks, 280 marks? The difference, only difference is that of, gap or lag, revision, further reorganization, mental practicing, referring to PYQs, mental practicing, and then pen and paper practicing. That is. Otherwise, many students, in first attempt, Bindu Madhav, I remember, Bindu Madhav from Hyderabad, Pradeep Singh, Many students in very first attempt got 100, 50, 55 paper 1, 150, 55 paper 2, 300 plus marks. Right? They were able to efficiently, systematize knowledge matrix in answers. That is the only difference. Those who are able to efficiently systematize knowledge matrix in answer, they are getting good score. Those who are not able, despite having knowledge, not able to systematize the knowledge matrix in answer, they are getting lesser score. Yes, na? Getting a point? Right. Just say, for example, I will say, just say, tell me any topic related to thinkers. For example, historical materialism, right? HM, historical materialism. In class, I must have discussed and dictated that in more than 5,000 words. Huh? Approximately 3 to 4 pages, yeah. 4 pages, so maybe 4,000, yeah. 3,000 to minimum, words, and you have to write in exam maximally 250 words, right? And last year question was, what is historical materialism? Critically examine relevance of historical materialism. This was the question, right? In contemporary times, last year, 23 May. What is historical materialism? And critically examine relevance of historical materialism in contemporary society in contemporary times. आज के समय में, the theory propounded by Karl Marx. Yes, na? Right. After industrial revolution. Yes, na? In early 20th century. Yes, na? Theory was propounded and relevance was asked in contemporary times. Yes, na? See, अब now, to answer this question, at the time of revision, before writing, test for mains exam, you need to reorganize the topic. How? What is historical materialism? Second, intellectual antecedents of historical materialism, like Hegel, Feuerbach. Then basic concepts of HM. Basic concepts क्या है? Mode of production, forces of production, relations of production, basic concepts. You have not yet studied. You will learn actually all these things. Just learn the art of reorganizing. Because they are writing mains, this will help them. Right. Basic concepts. Then fourth dimension would be a stages of historical materialism. A stages of historical, अगर history है तो stage भी होगा historical materialism. Then alternative thesis or antithesis or critical analysis of historical materialism, and lastly relevance of historical materialism. Getting a point? If you have, after learning historical materialism, while doing revision of your notes, if you are able to organize the topic into these 6-7 dimensions, you'll be able to write each and every question. This is what I say, systematization. Yes, na? In class, teacher has to elaborate everything in detail for the sake of understanding with examples, isn't it? Getting a point? That is, approach of material aggregation. Yes, na? Material aggregation, study material aggregation in your notes in the class, and then it starts, at the time of revision, you have to have a spiritual orientation. You will have to have a spiritual orientation, not maximization, rather being concise and precise, and reading the same time and again. Yes, na? So this says, if you are able to organize the topic historical materialism in these 6-7 dimensions, right, you'll be able to write any question. Just say last year question was, what is historical materialism and critically analyze its relevance. So 1, 2, 3. By reflecting on these 3 dimensions, you will be able to write. Getting your point or not? Uske pehle, earlier there was question, explain historical materialism. Yes, na? To explain historical materialism, so what is historical materialism? Then intellectual antecedents, basic concepts and stages. Done. Explain historical materialism. Need not to write, criticism or relevance. Understood or not? Getting your point? Before that, there was question, class in itself and class for itself. Short note. So that basic concepts, when we discuss, basic concepts related to historical materialism, so class in itself, class for itself, all basic concepts comes under this. Yes, na? So if you have systematized knowledge, yes, na, at the time of revision, isn't it? You will be able to systematize knowledge in answer on A4 paper. Yes or no? But that requires, a spiritual orientation. In place of, further aggregating the notes and books and toppers notes these days, toppers brings lot of scent and sensation these days. Yes, na? And they create, huge uproar actually at ORN in Delhi and here in Bangalore also, because most of the Delhi coachings have now their basis at regional centers. Yeah. So here also toppers talk and all. Yes, na? And those toppers, share their experiences of 5 years, 6 years. Yes, na? Their trial and errors, isn't it? And we think like, okay, we also will have to go through all this. No. Like, learning has its own standards actually. Yes, na? As per nature of the subject. And sociology is systematic and scientific study of society. Then, as a beginner, while studying sociology, you will have to systematically understand, functioning of society, working of society, interaction among the people. You will have to understand systematically. Yes, na? And that also reflecting on the perspectives or theories. Karl Marx theory, Emile Durkheim's theory, Talcott Parsons theory. Yes, na? You will have to systematize your knowledge matrix. Yes, na? And similarly, you have to do at the time of revision after completion of learning. In due course of time, like in class also, I used to give a lot of examples class mein, because while systematizing the knowledge from the perspective of thinkers, you should also try to make it relevant by relating it to certain facts in society. Yes, now while systematizing knowledge, reflecting on thinkers, you should also try to relate it with the contemporary facts, आज के facts के साथ, है ना? जैसे suppose historical materialism, while we are talking, relevance of historical materialism, so yes, in today's society, what do we see? Rise of gig economy, rise of platform economy, rise of digital capitalism, platform capitalism like Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato. Yes, now these capitalists are referred as platform capitalists. They are running a platform, Ola, Uber. Yes, na? And the relation between Ola driver and the capitalist. Yes, na? Relation between Swiggy supplier and the capitalist. Characterized by inequality or not? Antagonism or not? Exploitation or not? Yes or no? Isn't it? And in platform economy also, as Marx said, ki class in itself and class for itself. Over the years, these Ola drivers, Uber drivers are forming their association or not? Virtual association. So now they are turning into class in itself to class for itself. Getting a point? So these are current developments. Marx did not talk about these. But applying, Marxian perspective, we can understand these developments. Yes or no? We can make Marxian concept of historical materialism relevant. Yeah, Marxian concept of alienation. Yes, na? Marx talks about what is alienation. Yes, na? Then causes of alienation. Yes, now forms of alienation and how alienation will be abolished. Then we discuss critical analysis. Some alternative views on alienation, and lastly relevance. And if question comes, मान लो इस बार question आ गया कि how far Karl Marx theory of alienation is relevant to understand gig economy workers condition. Gig economy workers condition. तो अपन क्या करेंगे? What we will do? We will apply Marxian concepts कि how gig economy workers are alienated from the products. Here, alienated from the services. Marx talks about alienation from the product. Here we will apply alienation from the services. Don't you see? Gig economy worker alienated from the services. I don't know whether you have observed or not while riding Ola or Uber taxis. You will see like Ola driver, he will switch on Uber, Ola, Rapido at the same time. Yes, na? He is not committed to either Ola, Uber or Rapido. Yes or no? And he randomly switched from Ola to Uber, Uber to Rapido. Yes, na? Why? Because he is alienated from that service. Yes or no? Getting your point? Ola, Uber, taking much of their commission. So now in Delhi, what I see, those Ola, Uber drivers fast switching to Rapido. I use Rapido and all just to understand gig economic workers. Yes, na? From New Randranagar, I go to Old Randranagar to take class. So at times I will hire, Rapido, at times Ola, Uber. Yes, na? Right. Just to interact with them and understand their problems. Because last year UPSC asked a question related to gig workers. Yes or no? Last year UPSC asked question. So this year, and more than 15 days, I consciously hired these taxis just to understand while I was taking class for Mains this year. Yes, na? Because last year gig economy appeared for the first time. This year also UPSC will ask question related to gig economy. Yes, na? So we will apply Marxian conception of alienation from the product. Here alienation from the services. There alienation from the production process. Here alienation from the service process. Yes, na? You will not find Ola drivers happy with the service provided by those platforms. Yes, na? Right. Then alienation from the self. Do you think Ola drivers and Uber drivers have freedom to reflect their creativities, or their behavior is strictly controlled by GPS system? Or yes or no? They do not have freedom to change the route. Rather, their behavior is controlled by GPS systems. Yes or no? Algorithmic, like capitalist is controlling algorithm, and through controlling algorithm, they are also controlling drivers, where they will go. Yes or no? Right. And lastly, Marx talks about alienation from the society, and here you will see, don't you think Ola, Uber drivers are largely alienated from the society? Or yes or no? Here, in Bangalore, migrant workers, from rural Karnataka, to urban areas driving Ola, Uber. Migrant from UP, Bihar, here in, Bangalore driving Ola. Yes, na? Auto rickshaws in Mumbai. Yes, na? Don't you think they are isolated, estranged from the society at large? Yes or no? So Marxian theory is still relevant to understand condition of gig economy workers. Yes, na? If question comes, do you think it is relevant? So you should understand if UPSC is asking, do you think it is relevant? Matlab ki this is relevant. That's why UPSC is asking me to answer. ऐसा नहीं करेंगे कि this is not relevant, right? Karl Marx was a Naxalite. We will not reject, Rather, we will try to understand how it is relevant. Yes, na? So this is how you have to learn sociology. As a beginner also, right? Understanding social structure, social interaction from the lens of 5-6 sociologists. Yes, na? And 5-6 perspective. We have only 6 perspective. Major perspective, 2-3 minor perspective like feminism, postmodernism. These are minor perspectives. Yes, na? Right. 6 thinkers and all gone actually. They are not going to come again and propound new theories. Hai na? So, limited number of theoretical strand. You have to learn social structures. As I said, institution, values and norms, family, economy, polity, education, religion, etc. Yes, na? Social interaction, social phenomena from their perspective. And you have to relate that with the contemporary facts of India. Contemporary facts of India. In paper 1, Globe also. Is it? In paper 2, Facts of India. This is how you have to systematize, because sociology is systematic and scientific study. It is objective study. Yes, na? Although Max Weber talks about human subjectivity, But he also propounded, propounded the idea of what? First-hand and method of first-hand, ideal type for what? Objectification, ideal type of action, ideal type of authority. He has also objectified. Matlab, he is also close to science, but not natural science, isn't it? He talks about, causal plurality. He talks about limited generalization. Yes, na? So Max Weber, a non-positivist, like the positivist, have tried to make sociology systematic and scientific. Yes, na? He also treats sociology as a science of social action. So this is how you should approach. Yes, na? Right. As a beginner also, and you as a finisher also. While writing answer, you have to keep in mind. More you systematize your knowledge in answer, contextually, better the chances of getting good marks. Yes, na? But game is that of, systematization. These days, after prelims and mains, after that test series started, every day I review 100 papers. 10 papers. Target is ki weekly 100 papers. है ना कर देने का, लेकिन regular on Saturday, Sunday I review more than 10, around 20, 25 also. And what I am realizing these days, students are highly disorganized in their answer. Highly disorganized, and that because of less efforts for organization of knowledge matrix after completion of syllabus. Less effort. Students are putting less efforts, making less efforts for further reorganization. As I said, historical materialism being reorganized. Yes, na? More you reorganize, more you make efforts for reorganization, better you will systematize your answers. Getting a point or not? Right. Today I had to board the flight at 9:30, but yesterday till 1:30 I reviewed the paper, late night. And last paper was like anything, जब last paper था, वो तो ऐसा disorganized, उसके बाद I struggled to sleep, because of too much of a stress, reading and extracting content from that answer. It was hard to read actually. It was very difficult to read. You can't. One question took 5 minutes to read and understand. Otherwise, it hardly takes, 30 seconds to read. For me, because of high efficiency of reading. And I called him and told ki UPSC. I called him and I asked him to make me understand. In many questions, I asked him to make me understand what he has written. Yes, na? So he explained and then I remarked. And I suggested him ki UPSC will not call you. Hai na? And the problem was not only legibility of legibility is huge. Writing is huge. Problem was he is very much disorganized in writing. There is lack of continuity and flow, lack of coherence. Yes, na? Suppose if I am writing, like problems in marriage. Yes, na? Question related to marriage. Then I must maintain order. Order of, Marxist perspective of analysis of problems related to marriage. A structural functionalist perspective. Yes, na? R.K. Merton perspective, right? Then Weberian perspective, analyzing problems in marriage. Then feminist perspective, analyzing problems in marriage. Yes, na? In any such generic question, what we need to do? We need to apply different perspective. Yes, na? So last year there was a question, generic question, how far Indian Constitution has contributed to upliftment of women. Question was like, do you think that Constitution has contributed to women's upliftment? Yes, na? I will have to think in orderly manner. Ki women, constitutional, laws, values, norms related to family and women's upliftment. Constitution, economy, equality of opportunity, yes, na, and women's upliftment. Constitution, polity, yes, na, right, citizenship rights, social citizenship, political citizenship, civil citizenship, and women's upliftment. Yes, na. So I will have to, write in orderly manner. I will have to maintain, coherence, isn't it? And then your answer will be systematized answer. Yes, na. not just writing, randomly, whatever comes to mind, you keep on writing. So before, mains, after prelims, when you practice, for answer writing, just don't write answer for the sake of, writing, completing tests, isn't it? But make efforts to systematize your knowledge. Yes, na? Getting a point or not? There is some order actually. We learn thinkers in a particular order. We learn thinkers Karl Marx, then Emile Durkheim, then Max Weber, then Talcott Parson, who tried to bridge the gap between positivism and non-positivism. He tried to bridge the gap. And he developed his theory of social system from theory of social action. Social action से वो कहाँ पहुँचा? Social system. He talks about, cultural system, social system, personality system, organismic system, from social action to social system, isn't it? That's why after Durkheim and after, Weber, we learn about Parsons and then G.H. Mead. Yes, na? Meaning to symbols related to person, places, things, objects, how that shapes, behavior. Yes, na? So that order should be maintained. Further, some minor, perspective that we learned, like feminist perspective. Yes or no? In criticism of all the thinkers, we can apply feminist perspective or not? We can apply feminist perspective. Yes, na? We can apply Indo-logical perspective, Indo-specific perspective. Europeans are criticized by Indologists for what? For being Eurocentric. Chahe wo Auguste Comte ho, Herbert Spencer ho, all Eurocentric. Yes, na? So cannot we apply Indology to criticize? One point of criticism hoga na Indology se ki Eurocentric hai. Getting a point, right? So this is. So try to systematize. Abhi jitna effort kariye wo systematization pe kariye. Yes, na? Right? Understood, I guess, something. जो मेंस लिख रहे हैं, जो those who are beginner, yeah, right. कि right from the beginning focus would be on systematization of knowledge, because sociology, मैंने कहा nature and scope is limited. We have to study mainly, social structures, 5 social structures and social interaction. यही है ना, social interaction and social structure, है ना, positivist and non-positivist, positivism and non-positivism. Yes, na, but as per nature of the subject, the subject is very systematized. It was systematized by thinkers, isn't it? We have to make, systematic. We have to do systematic study. Right? Getting a point, as a learner also, systematic learning, and as writer also, yes, na, performer also, effort for systematic answer writing. In between comes, after learning in the class and before writing in exam, all your efforts for revision, reorganization and reflection. Triple R's. Revision, reorganization and reflection. Reflection on what? Reflection on the dimensions as per demand of the question. As per demand of the question. Isn't it? Reflecting on dimension for compiling answer. यही काम होना चाहिए. तो अभी जो भी समय है before mains, isn't it? Please dedicate to this. है ना? Revision, reorganization and reflection on dimensions of questions asked by UPSC previously. जो previous years में UPSC ने पूछा हुआ है. Yes, na? Right. So this is. Understood something, yeah? Right? So last year, did you appear last year? Huh?
Last year got a score.
Last year could not get a score, yeah? Okay. I will talk a little about last year paper also, because last year, in all optional subjects, the nature of question evolved. Not only in sociology, you must have seen, the topper, rank 1, with political science optional, her score is 278. Yeah, 276. In sociology, rank 4 has got 294 marks, but rank 1 has 278 marks in optional. In all optional subjects, nature of question last year evolved. However, in sociology, despite evolution, paper was manageable. But many students, could not understand change in orientation of UPSC. Change in orientation of UPSC. If you see, they say, last year UPSC asked the question, nature of the subject. Earlier UPSC used to ask what? A scope of the subject. Ab nature पूछ दिया. Last year UPSC asked, like very many applied questions. Many applied questions like relation between democracy, citizenship and civil society. है ना कि democracy is strengthened by a vibrant civil society that protects citizenship rights. Yes, na. These are applied question actually. You cannot just write, the theoretical part. Rather, you will have to prove. You will have to establish, logic or reasoning with the help of facts. Yes, na. Last year there was a question. Do you think that modernity and secularization is interlinked concepts? Many students wrote yes, it is interlinked concept, because we discussed also in class it is interlinked, modernity and secularization. Secularization is important, feature of modernization, right? But in such question, we need also to look into the facts. If you see the fact, Iran is a modern society, technology wise, yes, na. But can we say Iran a secular society? No. Afghanistan, Taliban's also use, modern technology, modern, like this defense technologies. Yes, na. But can we say Taliban secular? Nahi. Abhi, what we see, like in America, in European countries, right? Again, the talks of ban on reproduction. Can we say this society is fully secular society, absolutely secular society? Those who are talking, ban on abortion. Yes, na. The first wave of feminist movement. Yes, na. No, first wave, second wave of feminist movement, and achieved with a struggle. Women achieved these rights: right to contraception, right to abortion. Yes, na. That provided women opportunity for participation in mainstream society, compete with men in mainstream society. And now these countries, even eminent leaders like Trump is talking about ban on such practices, modern practices. Yes, na. So here we see lack of secularization. Yeah, in Indian society also at times what we see. Yes, na. Like in like a society which is administered by government of India, there we see rise of Bageshwar Dham Sarkar, Datia Sarkar, yes or no? Many such sarkars within government of India, and that advocating for Hindu Rashtra, yes or no? Isn't it? So good and bad ki baat nahi hai. Matlab secular credentials are compromised and questioned actually. Yes na, by these cult leaders, charismatic leaders. Yes na. So modernity and secularization not always linked concepts. Yes or no? So, but in such question, students did not analyze this way. Majority of students wrote, yes, both are interlinked. Yes, na. So we need to understand evolving nature of question also. Yes, na. That's why I say, don't just, I started my discussion today with that point, don't just, complete the syllabus, right? Rather develop wisdom. Develop personality. Personality is dynamic sum of knowledge and wisdom. Dynamic sum of knowledge and wisdom. Yes, na. Knowledge helps you solve the problem. Yes, na. But wisdom helps you solve the problem contextually and exactly. Solve the problem contextually and exactly. Yes or no? Isn't it? So, thoda sa isko preparation ko you need to make more dynamic. Yes, na. Right. You need to understand evolving nature of the subject. Right? Understood, I guess. Yeah. Yes. What more you want to understand? Please tell. Understood something you? Huh? You are appearing next year, but I hope you have started sociology. Yeah? You? Yeah, because your responses let me understand. Yeah, you are. You? Huh? Started learning sociology. Yes, na. So now you have understood how you have to learn. Just don't make it a random collection of notes and material, please. Otherwise, you will struggle. In any optional subject, you will struggle. Yes, na? Right. Last year, first time you wrote mains, huh? 23 you wrote and 24 you wrote. And this year also writing, yeah? Before that, though, you told me ki prelims, factor, yeah? Fine. 23 May, how was? Okay. 23 May, 260 above students were selected. 265 above students were selected. This year also 260 above selection is there. You know, because overall cutoff has gone down in 24 in comparison to 23. In 23 in comparison to 22 cutoff gone down. Yes, na? Right. So as per difficulty level and evolving nature of question, you know, cutoff go up or down. Yes, na? If question is static, cutoff will be up. If question is little dynamic, you know, and deviated from the established pattern, if there is deviation from established pattern, then cutoff go down. So last year also. Anyways, try this time and try to understand this. What happens, you know, okay, because of putting too much of, you know, efforts and that stress of not qualifying prelims also, like somewhere affects our performance in mains examination. Yes, na, mains examination, right? Because if you don't qualify prelims, so you put a lot of, you know, effort for qualifying prelims. Yes, na, so mind space, knowledge matrix, yes, na, all, you know, like occupied by prelims, and so it becomes very difficult after that, you know, after writing 2-3 times prelims, after that first time for writing, so it becomes very difficult to systematize everything. You will have to make, you know, like fresh effort to systematize things. Yes, now that requires, you know, fresh effort for systematization of thing. At least, you know, like making short notes, that what I say, you know, listing. What I say, listing. Detailing we do in class. Detailing is there in notes and books. Yes, na? And fresh effort should be made every time I am doing revision for listing. Listing the dimension. Listing the keywords. Listing the dimension. Yes, na? Yesterday only I have released that list of keywords. Ask Rakhi ma'am to share that list of keywords. What I have done this time, your students had lesser time this time. And many students were requesting, sir, give some shortcut kind of thing. So what I did, from our notes only, I have listed, you know, keywords. Right? In Karl Marx historical materialism, these are 25 keywords that you must know. And you must write anyhow. Yes, na? Because in examination hall, I mean, evaluator also look for those keywords. Yes or no? Right. These conceptual keywords and terms are ornaments of the discipline sociology. Yes, na? And those keywords, conceptual terms like division of labor, force division of labor, economic division of labor. Yes, na? Getting a point? So those like bring sociological coloration in your answer. Particularly these days, UPSC has a trend of asking very generic question. That seems to be GS question. Yes, na? There, you know, you will have to apply these keywords. Yes, na? For example, like problems of gig workers, right? So you cannot write, you know, problems like you write in general studies, low wage age, yes, na, and all. You will have to write like force division of labor. Is the problem of gig workers. Economic division of labor is the problem of gig workers. Yes, na? Getting a point, right? Alienation, estrangement from the organization of production is the problem of gig workers. Isn't it? Getting a point, right? Further, you know, Parsonian keywords, concept, low adaptational capacity. Yes, na? Lack of, you know, legal rational arrangement for social security, for wage security, occupational security, problem of gig workers. Yes, na? Right. In your topic, you have to also study about in today's society, our society is turning to be risk society. Yes, na? Don't you see urban flooding, Gurugram, you know, turned into a flooded island every year. Who is affected the most? Gig workers. Yes, na? The daily wage earners, Ola, Uber drivers. Higher class people, middle class people, the professionals can manage to work from home. Yes or no? Higher class people can manage, you know, work from home, right? Or can airlift from the top of the floor. Antilia se airlift kar sakte, helicopter say they can afford, but not the Ola and Uber drivers. Yes or no? So Ulrich Beck's concept is that of risk society, isn't it? And that society turning into risk society, risking the gig workers more than other classes of society. Yes or no? So this is how you will have to list the keywords, then your answer would be sociological answer. Otherwise yes का answer हो जाएगा. Yes ना? Getting a point, right? So this is. So ऐसा करिए अभी, है ना? खुद भी prep करिए and take help of that list also, isn't it? And this is what reflect कि as UPSC aspirant you have studied and you have studied systematically, and so you are able to reflect, है ना? You will make your write-up systematic and scientific through these theoretical conceptual keywords. Yes, no? Theoretical conceptual keywords propounded by those thinkers, 5-6 thinkers that we studied. Yes, no? Or some minor thinker also. Some minor thinker like neo-conflictist Louis Althusser. Yes, no? Ideological state apparatus and repressive state apparatus. Yes or no? Isn't it? Right. So this is, you have to apply their keywords, right? So this is, understood, yeah? Right. So just do these things, not just practice to write answer or कि बस मेरे को इतना answer लिख लेना है, test लिख लेना है, but that is just a means actually. Means for reorganization, means for retention of the keywords. Yes, na? Getting your point, right? So this is. Fine. Anything more you want to know? This is what you need to understand, है ना? As a beginner, थोड़ा beginners के लिए again, like those who are approaching next year, the first paper of syllabus says fundamentals of sociology, fundamentals. Second paper, Indian society structure and change. Second paper is not Indian sociology. Indian sociology नहीं है. Indian society structure and change. Look, before 2008, the syllabus, paper 2 syllabus was referred as Indian sociology. And syllabus did not include the perspective, Indology, structural functionalism and Marxism. ये सब नहीं था syllabus में, these topics were included, in year 2008. And that syllabus also changed Indian sociology to Indian society structure and change. While, approaching paper 1, try to understand the fundamentals. Try to understand the fundamentals, fundamental ideas, fundamental thoughts. Yes, now, right? Fundamental theoretical views, fundamental concepts propounded by the founding fathers of sociology like Auguste Comte, Herbert Spencer, founding father of modern sociology like Emile Durkheim and Max Weber. Yes, na? Like Karl Marx, Talcott Parsons. Yes, na? Like R.K. Merton, G.H. Mead. Right? So try to understand, list and retain those fundamentals. Yes, na? Right. Those fundamentals are the key, right, to unlock other topics of the syllabus like work and economic life, systems of kinship, religion and society, as well as paper 2, relevant for paper 2. In paper 2 also, you will apply those fundamentals. Fundamentals को apply करेंगे paper 2 में भी. In paper 2, after understanding perspectives, Indology, structural functionalism, Marxism, modernism, आपका एक टॉपिक है मॉडर्निज्म, मॉडर्नाइजेशन ऑफ इंडियन ट्रेडिशन, योगेंद्र सिंह. यस ना? सोशल बैकग्राउंड ऑफ इंडियन नेशनलिज्म, A.R. देसाई. यस ना? आंध्र बेते is mentioned, Louis Dumont is mentioned. Yes na? After understanding them, you will apply these Indian sociologists views and perspective along with the fundamentals, fundamental concepts, fundamental theoretical strands, fundamental ideas and views of paper 1, understanding different topics of syllabus in paper 2. Yes na? Paper 2 में apply करने का है, right? So paper 1, as it says, कि fundamentals of sociology, so every time your focus should be on fundamentals, है ना? If you learn something, so like these are the fundamentals, related to historical materialism propounded by Karl Marx. Yes or no? Right. अब these fundamentals you can use in paper 2, जैसे paper 2 में green revolution, While analyzing green revolution, you can write na ki green revolution was a result of new agricultural strategy and changes and transformation in mode of Indian agriculture, mode of production in Indian society. And when mode of production changes, relations of production also changes. Yes na, right? Relations of production also changes, right? Force of production change, like modern tools, technology, heavy machines, consolidation of land. Yes na, relations of production also changed. Men and women ka relation changed. Status of women was declined because men became more suitable for operating heavy machines to be operated in consolidated land, and so members of society develop preference for one child, male child, and decline in sex ratio. Yes na. So mode of production, changing mode of production impacted decline in sex ratio, has impact, consequence. Yes na. So this is how we apply these fundamentals in paper 2. Understood, I guess? Yeah. Got my point. So as a beginner, you have to keep in mind, next year you are approaching, so you have too much of time, right? You have too much of time for next year. Almost 1 year time. So right from the beginning, focus on fundamentals, right? Fundamentals of sociology, fundamental concepts, theoretical strands, fundamental ideas, views related to the facts of society, isn't it? From the beginning, just say suppose you completed historical materialism or you completed Karl Marx. Next step, listing, detailing in the class, detailing in the notes, detailing in the books. Immediately after that, listing karte jaiye. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to retain. If you list, these 6 dimensions will help you reflect on the detailed notes. These 6 points will help you reflect on detailed notes. Yes or no? Right. So, aisa karna hai. This way you have to approach the subject. Right? Yes. Understood something, yeah? So, those who are writing mains, lesser time this time. Only 1 month time, yeah? Less than 1 month, I guess. 1 month, 3 days, yeah. So, try your best to do just list. Listing. And you have already done listing, I can see.
Paper 1 and 2, so as much as one.
Listing is done. Yeah. So just keep adding on as per evolving nature of the question. Question ka nature evolve ho raha hai. Suppose you took class 3 years back, 4 years back, then you have to just add on as per expectation of the question. Not too much of things. Yes, na? Question ka keyword and the some concept, new concepts, like dramaturgy was asked. So dramaturgy was asked. I had discussed dramaturgy. I was not expecting dramaturgy to be asked in short question. Yes, na? Yeah, long question. It was asking short question, and many students managed to write dramaturgy, dramaturgical analysis. Based on that, yesterday I discussed in detail, many phenomenologists, Peter Berger, Alfred Sketch. Yes, na? Because if from symbolic interactionism one thinker, Goffman can be asked, like from phenomenology also they can ask Peter Berger and all. So as per evolving nature of question, you should try to add on something. Every time you will not join the class. After completing your class, as per evolving nature of the question, you have to add on something, you have to do value addition. Yes, na? Value addition only in those areas where UPSC is evolving, where UPSC question is evolving. From Karl Marx, every year, the last year also, critically analyze historical materialism. Yeah, this question was also doable, in the year 2023, UPSC asked, what is historical materialism? Critically examine its relevance. This was manageable. Yes, na, doable question. So from thinkers, unit you will not see question much evolving. But in other units, perspectives and other units, questions are evolving. Accordingly, you have to do value addition. Yes, na? Right. So in next 1 month, try to do your best, adding value, and I will help you. Just say I have prepared the list of keywords. Try to memorize those keywords. Try to, and forcefully try to write. Yes, now force yourself to write those keywords. Yes, now because UPSC later will not go too much into detail. Just look for sociological terms and terminologies and keywords. If your answer is fully loaded with those conceptual terms and keywords, you will get better score. Right? Getting a point. Ajay, I have seen many students, those who cracked in first attempt, their idea was very clear. When I used to ask Pradeep या Bindu, those who cracked या Parna Gautam first attempt में, and lesser time, sir, you tell me I will memorize. You tell me I will memorize. Either I will understand or I will memorize. They know that they have memorized. I know that they have memorized. But UPSC evaluator hardly know that they have memorized or mugged up or they understand. Yes or no? But they were able to write. Right, Pradeep? Like successfully in 2 attempts, continuously managed to get 300 plus marks. And that also, first attempt, 3.5 months, classes, writings, yes, na, 300 plus, and next attempt, hardly 1 month preparation. After, that list of service was published, he missed IAS and he got, 300 plus in second attempt also. Hardly revising the same thing. Yes, na, memorizing the same thing. In sociology, you will have to memorize also. Terms and keywords, right? If you forget, suppose ki ideological state apparatus and repressive state apparatus, and you are writing some answer on bureaucracy or civil society, you can say na, ki, civil society according to Althusser is an ideological state apparatus. Yes, na. Although I have not discussed ideological state apparatus in civil society, but you can connect or not. Yeah, bureaucracy is also a repressive state apparatus, bureaucratic decision related to displacement of the tribals, that is repressive, yes or no? So this is, right? I hope understood, yeah? So aisa kariye, right? Now please ask something specific if you want to know some specific. Come again, please. Material. You want material? Acha. Look, your notes should be the primary material. Your notes. Now, what would be the sources to make your notes? So, source may be some class, or if you don't want to take class, then for me, IGNOU ka material. Because that is IGNOU material. I don't refer Ridger ka book, because that book you can't understand. Right? Ridger, Harlambus, Giddens, those books written by authors of America, Europe, yes, na? And as per their observation of European and American society. Here in India, we need to understand which reflection of Indian society. Indian society के reflection से समझना है. Yes or no? So that is. If you want to self-prepare, then the best material is IGNOU, study material of BA and selective booklets of MA. Yes, na, if you don't want to take class, otherwise you can take class also. Here also you will find some classes, isn't it? In classes, in time frame, within the time frame, everything will be completed. Yes, na? Right. So that is. And in Sangwan also you can refer, but Sangwan is a guidebook and that is very generalized. That's why now I don't refer. I don't refer because I asked one student already last year in IPS, selected for IPS, appearing. So I said, she asked me, sir, what can I refer for quickly, updating things or revising? I asked, please, you can read, Sangwan book. No, sir, for last 2-3 times I am referring that. I am not able to get more than 125 in paper 2. Right? Why? Because of generic content. And everybody, majority of students, not everybody, majority of students at the last moment referring the same and writing the same. Yes or no? Isn't it? So look, what happens, if you change your source after making your notes for the quick revision, if you're relying on such material, then such material will be reflected in examination or not your notes. Getting a point or not? What I will suggest, even if you're referring that book, extract some content from that book aligned with, IGNOU, yes, na, relate it to the contemporary development and try to optimize that. That is not sufficient, for fetching good scores. Right? That is a guidebook actually. And you need to go little, in more detailing, particularly on application part. You will not find too much examples in that book. Yes, na? right? And you have to understand with examples, right? Yes. If you are, suppose you are learning, first wave of feminism, second wave of feminism, third wave of feminism, you need to understand such waves of feminism reflected in Indian society. And a hashtag Me Too movement. Getting your point? Fourth wave of feminism. Because fourth wave of feminism advocates for use of digital media, social media. Yes, na? For what? For reporting the cases of violence. For example, in India, we saw hashtag Me Too movement. So you will have to relate with such facts with the concepts of these waves of feminism. Yes, na? Right. So this is understood, yeah? Right? Or anything more? Need to understand something, how to approach, or yes, na? Something how to approach. Syllabus, right? Your class or self-study, making notes, first detailed notes, detailing, yes, na? With focus on what? With focus on fundamentals, with focus on fundamentals, concepts, theoretical strands, and the facts of Indian society. Then listing, short note making, listing. Getting your point? Then referring to PYQs, previous year question, and dimensional note making as per the need. Yes, na? Right. So follow this. Follow this. Okay, Ji. Anything specific for men's? Any problem that you are facing? Okay, fine. Okay, anything generic that will help others also, right? Understood something? कुछ समझ में आया what to do in this, है ना? Just try to systematize, right? Revise, try to revise every second, third day, thinkers. Every time you revise thinkers, and think something, so we'll be able to link, with other social facts. Yes, na? At the last moment, you will not be able to revise everything. You can't revise everything. So in paper 2, just revise, at the last moment before exam, just revise thinkers and perspectives. And paper 2, just revise, these 5 or 6 sociologists. 5, 6 sociologists like Indology, yes, na? Then structural functionalism, then Marxism, then modernism, Yogendra Singh, yes, na? Then Andre Bete, Louis Dumont, yes, na? These 5, 6 thinkers, you have to revise and you have to use them, apply them, yes, na? In different topics, right? So this is last moment. Yes? Look, yeah, see, let it be a very normal process. Don't make extra effort. Right? For linking current affairs. No. You learn current developments in general studies. Yes, na? You learn daily, weekly, monthly. Right? Last year, there was a development. Government of India, our parliamentarian passed Nari Shakti Bill. Yes, na? That was one development. Yes, na? UPSC in Sociology asked the question, how far do you think that constitutional measures has contributed to women's upliftment? Got this point? Matlab, current affairs related question is asked in Sociology, but you are not expected to write current affairs. Yes, na? You have to just give reference of Nari Shakti Bill as a means for political empowerment for women. While writing that question, do you think that Constitution has contributed to upliftment of women? Understood or not? Getting your point? UPSC will never ask write a current detail of MG Narega. No. Few years back, UPSC asked the question MG Narega. Yes, na? The year Modi Sahab had made a statement in Parliament, and targeting opposition political parties. Yes, na? Ki MG Narega is testimony of your failures, in poverty alleviation. So UPSC asked a question MG Narega, but you were not supposed to write all the details of MG Narega in 150 words. What you were expected to write? Functionalist perspective on MG Narega, Marxist perspective on MG Narega, feminist perspective on MG Narega. Yes, na? Subaltern perspective on MG Narega. Right? You can also write environmentalist perspective on MG Narega, eco-feminist perspective on MG Narega. Yes, na? Because in MG Narega there is no concrete work. Yes or no? That is eco-friendly work. Yes, na? Right. So questions will be related to current affairs, but you have to just give a briefing of current fact and you have to do sociological analysis. So please don't make extra effort following, topper's talk. Toppers say in one line ki I prepared, current sociology. They don't say ki how did they use current sociology. Yes, na? Ya fir any teacher, who sensitize current affairs too much, that's just for the sake of, their advertisement. That's not, relevant for, too much relevant for UPSC exam. Yes, na? You have to just give information. Yes, na? Some facts. And then after you have to do sociological analysis. Sociological analysis करना होगा. Yes, na? जैसे ये क्वेश्चन ही था कि how far do you think that constitution has contributed to upliftment of women? So you were supposed to write, है ना, giving example of Nari Shakti bill and all, because current development था, that was current development. You are supposed to write the constitution, family and women empowerment, constitution, economy and women empowerment, constitution, polity and women empowerment, constitution, education, educational rights, yes na, as a fundamental rights, and women empowerment. Yes na, getting a point, constitution, religion and women empowerment. Don't you think today, like constitutional major, freedom to profess, practice and propagate religion irrespective of caste, gender, ethnicity, yes na, has empowered women, and women also, claiming their religious cultural rights. Yes na, right. So this is how, like, you have to do a structural analysis, not just, current facts of GS. Getting your point? You can refer to some theoretical strand also, functional perspective, yes or no? Legal rational transformation, Weberian perspective, yes na? So this is how you're supposed to write current question, right? So what I believe need not to, yesterday only I released one current sociological analysis of current social issues. Sociological analysis of current social issues. You are supposed to do sociological analysis of current social issues. Getting your point? In answer, you cannot just write, current affairs. Rather, you will have to do sociological analysis. Yes, na? Right. Let's say last year, this Ambani's, Anant Ambani had 5 pre-wedding parties, 5 to 10, post-wedding parties. Yes, na? So, yeah. In advance, I had guessed that question, and I had discussed also in class, commercialization of marriage. Yes, na, is one contemporary development, commercialization of marriage. When we think of commercialization of marriage, we analyze commercialization of marriage from functionalist perspective, commercialization of marriage, right? Marxist perspective, commercialization of marriage, feminist perspective, radical feminist perspective. Radical feminists will say कि commercialization of marriage put too much pressure on women. Yes, na? Getting your point? Commodification of women personality. Yes, na? Too much pressure for what? For matching the standards of beauty. Yes, na? As per market standards. Yes, na? Right. So radical feminist perspective. So you have to apply, perspectives to analyze such developments. Right? You cannot just write, GS like answer in sociology. Understood, I guess. Yeah? Right. So this is. Understood, yeah? Yes. So don't have, this word. In fact, trust me, current affairs should be a tool, a means to update your fundamental understanding, update your basic understanding in general studies papers also. You please, after mains this year, analyze how many questions were directly related to current affairs, number 1, and number 2, in how many questions I had a scope to write something from current affairs. Right? You will realize that only few questions directly related to current affairs, and in almost all questions you had a scope to add something from current affairs. Even questions related to history, that seems to be static. That seems to be static history. If, just say last year there was a question related to civil disobedience movement. This year, events related to civil disobedience movement, last year question was asked. This year, maybe non-cooperation movement, yes or no? Non-cooperation movement. So, while doing revision, as I said, while doing revision, try to do listing from detailed notes, listing. Try to reorganize the knowledge matrix. If I will reorganize knowledge matrix related to non-cooperation movement, then again, first point would be what is NCM, the concept of NCM, non-cooperation. Then causes of NCM. Then third, personalities related to NCM. Fourth, events at the places related to NCM. Fifth, end event. Then consequences and something from current affairs, relevance, current relevance, right? History का question होगा ना? Any question related to CDM or history question, and we believe कि history is static. But don't you think you can write something from current affairs in this static topic also? NCM में क्या था? Satyagrah, non-violence. So don't you think Satyagrah and non-violence is relevant today? Yes, na? Modi Sahab, on many platforms recently, he appealed the world community that this is era of Buddha, not Yuddha. We can resolve all the disputes and issues through deliberation, discussion. Yes, na? World is celebrating non-violence day. 2nd October is celebrated as non-violence day. Yes, na? And what is the solution of these problems? US, UK, Russia, Ukraine conflict, Iran, Israel conflict. What is the solution? A dialogue, discussion. Yes, na? Through non-violence means. Yes or no? You can see last 3 years war between Ukraine and Russia, and nowhere is a solution through war and battles. Kahin dikh raha hai kya solution? No, isn't it? So relevance continues of the strategies adopted by Gandhi during non-violence, non-cooperation movement. Yes or no? So while listing the dimension related to non-cooperation movement, you can add something. Yes, na? Right. Understood, I guess, yeah? Right? This farmers movement recently, farmers movement, farmers protest, forced the state to withdraw Farm Act, the same strategy adopted by farmers also. Yes or no? Getting a point or not? Right? A strike, non-cooperation, a strike by, teachers associations, workers associations, that is still relevant. Yes or no? So this is. So try to, in GS also try to update the fundamentals, update the basic with current affairs. Otherwise, all your energy and motivation will be drained actually. Yes, na? Following current affairs booklets of the institutions. Yes or no? Getting a point or not? Current affairs is important, isn't it? But not an end in itself. But if you follow Delhi ka coaching institution, war and coaching institution, they have, set a standard of current affairs as an end in itself, not just a means, rather end in itself. Yes, na? And for Delhi coaching institution, current affairs booklets are the tool for publicity. Publicity here at Bangalore or other regional centers to attract, attention of the expected audience or students, aspirants. Yes, na? So please, you don't become like target of that tool. Rather, you use that tool to update your fundamentals. Understood, I guess? Yeah. Yes, na? Right. And please tell me, after analyzing this year paper, ki how many question first, ki how many question were directly related to current affairs, and in how many question you had a scope to add something from current affairs. Yes, na? Then that will help you strategize for next year, prelims or mains. Otherwise, from Delhi these years, because of current affairs draining the energy and motivation of students, majority students are failing in prelims from Delhi center. Yes, na? Delhi center by result is very less in prelims. That because of over reading of current affairs and over writing of test series. Because these two courses are branded in a way that these have become an end in itself. Yes, na? Right. Understood my point? Yeah. So this is. So I hope you understood something. Kuch samajh mein aaya? Yeah. Anything more? Please tell. Huh? For 2026, I mean, next, see, as far as, like planning in regard to approaching the subjects, yeah? Coaching completed, yeah? Revision, right? Okay. So one more thing I will, suggest, right? Okay. See, those who are approaching next year and completed, syllabus, first, try to, organize the subjects, distribute the subjects and syllabus topics into two groups. Group A, Group B. Group A subjects and the topics common to PT plus mains. Yes, na? Right? And the subjects is specific to mains exam. The subjects common to PT and mains: history, geography, polity, constitution, governance, economic and social development, environment and ecology, science and technology. Current affairs to iske beyond hai, just for updation. These are common subjects, yeah? Yes, na? And subject is specific to mains: society, governance, yeah, true, right? Social justice. IR is also common. IR bhi karte na, hai na? And here history with art and culture. History with art and culture is common, right? So this further, as you said, disaster management, IR, ethics, optional, if sociology, optional sociology, and essay. Yes, na? IR is common. These days, few questions are asked in prelims also. Huh?
You told internal.
Internal security. Yeah, that is internal security. ठीक है ना? So divide the subjects and syllabus in two parts: Group A and Group B. Right? You are in month of July, August, September, October, and November. Dedicate 4 months time for Group B. Dedicate 4 months time for Group B. Yes, na? And then December onward, Group A. That is common to both PT and Mains. Right? Dedicate time, if you have completed the syllabus, dedicate time to revise, reorganize, and reflect on PYQ. Question, probable, solution. Getting a point? Revise, reorganize. जो भी topic पढ़ते reorganize करिए. Must reorganize. Without reorganization, you are not doing justice with revision. It's just time pass. It's just time pass. You need to reorganize. You need to list from the detailed notes. Yes, na? And then reflection on PYQs, right? Refer PYQ. Suppose art and culture. If you are referring PYQ, you will find question related to Gondwana, है ना? Paintings, right? Maybe next year, Mathura painting. Yes, na? Maybe next year, modern painting, modern arts. Yes, na? So reflect on PYQs, question, think the answer, and also do guesswork over NYQ. PYQ to NYQ. Next year question. PYQ to NYQ. In every subject, do this while doing revision. Majority students, keep themselves busy just referring to PYQ, thinking answer, getting evaluation, and be happy. And they don't think NYQ. Next year question. Yes, na? Suppose Gondwana painting has been asked, या Gond painting has been asked, so next year other forms of paintings, Mithila painting maybe, Madhubani painting maybe, yes or no? Getting your point? Miniature paintings, yes, na? So just think over NYQ. NYQ this can be asked. Yes, na? So do this, right, for next 4 months, right? You will be doing answer writing practice also, thinking, yes, na? Right, revision, reorganization, meditate, PYQ practice, this you have to do. You have to be normal with the problem. Always make this revision time, for normalizing your personality with the problem. Yes, na? Normalizing your personality with the problem, reflecting on the problem and expected solution. Yes or no? More you normalize your personality with the problem, you will be a better problem solver in examination hall. Yes or no? Right. Sociology, my plan is already going on in Delhi. For here, you talk to them, they have planned something, right? They have planned something, right? You talk to them, they will. To best of my ability, I will guide you, and probably I guide the best. ऐसा student बोलते हैं, although I'm not the best teacher, right? Because unless you join some big corporate, you are not the best teacher of Delhi, right? But yeah, I'm the best in terms of result, and I'm the best in terms of students following also, right, at Delhi, right? anyways, so I will help you. In sociology also do the same. Yes, na? For general studies, suppose कि you have some discipline issues, होता है ना जनरल स्टडीज में, इतना सब्जेक्ट पढ़ना है, कैसे, how to discipline. For that purpose you can join some coaching that can discipline you, and some teacher who can hold your hand. Yes, now who holds your hand all the time, isn't it? Giving remark and feedbacks. Yes, now getting a point, right? So that while doing revision, reorganization, reflection of PYQ, write some NYQ. The best way to write some NYQ is joining some lighter test somewhere. Yes, na? Weekly. Yes, na? And don't engage yourself too much in daily answer writing. Getting a point? Like, don't make this preparation, I always say, student, don't make this preparation process after completing your foundation classes a circus type thing. No. Every day, talent, like crew members of circus, show their talent. Circus में crew members क्या करते हैं? अपना talent दिखाते हैं. And here you have to show your merit. UPSC को क्या दिखाना होगा? Merit. And merit is tested in examination hall, and in one go for 3 hours. Are yes or no? So what you try to do? Weekly revision, reorganization, reflections on PYQ, mental practicing on PYQ, thinking of NYQ, and Saturday, Sunday writing for 3 hours. If you are joining some test series, write the test, or at home if you wish to write, then write some previous year question for 3 hours. Test your merit to manage the knowledge matrix, to reflect syllabus, reflection over syllabus, recollection of concepts, theoretical strands, facts for writing. And that does not happen with daily writing of one answer, uploading on some channel and waiting for review throughout the day. Yes, na? Right. Understood or not? Yes, na? That just, creates illusion of competency. Illusion of competency. Yes, na? If you are, suppose if you are, let's say, at Delhi, many of my students, live in Delhi. So what, they, after completing classes, while doing revision, if they write something, they walk down and they get reviews. Or maybe, I don't give intensive review. Just chalte, yeah, fine. Introduction good, main body good, conclusion good. But when they write for 3 hours, yes, now, then intensively I review and I give remark, because that is merit testing, right? So this is understood, yeah. So as a career, right? Got something, I guess, yeah, something, understood something, yeah. So this is. So make a plan. After 4 months, you shift to prelims. While doing prelims, please don't think you are preparing only for prelims, because next year you have hardly 80 or 82 days. Yes or no? 80 or 82 days, right? You cannot manage to revise everything. Yes, now after prelims, before mains, right? So while preparing for prelims and these common subjects of syllabus, subject and topics of syllabus, prepare in a way that you don't limit yourself to objective testing, rather regularly, subjective testing, subjective, at least thinking previous year question or thinking over next year questions, bole to test series question, isn't it? Because you don't have much time after prelims, yes, na, to revise everything. Every day I'm getting call, students asking, sir, which area I can leave now? I cannot revise all the papers, all the subjects after prelims, after result of prelims. Yes, na? So please change your strategy now. Ab strategy change karna hoga. You will have to change your strategy as per the evolving nature of exam. Yes, na? Right. Maybe next to next year, hardly 60 days time given to you. Yes, na? Right. Got this point or not? So this is. I hope understood something. Yeah. Are yes, na? Right? Any more doubt, please? So this problem solved, what to do, how to revise? Yes, na? Common syllabus, mains specific syllabus for next 4 months, mains specific syllabus, and then switch to prelims. Mains specific syllabus may not only these portions of syllabus but also sociology, and try to write some essay also. Yes, na? Because after prelims you will not get much time. At least, like understanding what to write in introduction, how to elaborate in main body, yes, now how to write conclusion, isn't it? Understand the mind of UPSC, that mind of UPSC already given in gazette notification, yes, na, write in orderly manner, yes, na, write concisely, precisely, credit will be given to exact and effective writing, yes, na. So refer to previous year topics of UPSC and think something. Right now, in essay, topics are philosophical in nature. Yes, na? So you cannot afford to write the way you used to write direct topics like new women is a myth. Direct topic, yeah, women empowerment myth or reality. Yes, na? Right. Philosophical topics should be written in philosophical way. Philosophical way. Yes, na? And what is philosophical way of writing? Philosophy means what? Philo means love. Sophie. Root word Sophia, love for Sophia means love for knowledge. Yes, na? So you will have to explore some deep knowledge, related to the topic. Not just, the earlier approach of temporal writing and sectoral writing. You will have to do some philosophical writing also before you analyze the topic on temporal scale and sectoral scales. Right? So do this. Understood, I guess, something, yeah? Okay. So anything more you wish to know? Freshers, beginners, understood something, yeah? Okay. I tried my best to discuss something in given time to benefit to freshers and those who are finishers, yeah? You also have to just systematize the knowledge matrix, yes, na? And as a beginner also you have to systematize the knowledge matrix, because nature of subject is very systematic and scientific. Yes, na? Getting a point. Okay, so this is all for today, right? For any more doubt, you can connect via sir here, those who are managing, right? Okay, I guess you all are late, huh? Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Good luck. Good luck. Sai bless you all. Good luck.